These are one of the most impressive IEMs I've tested. They are the newest EW300 from SIMGOT. I think they were launched like 1 month ago. They have a bunch of cool features, so let's talk about it. The box itself is pretty unique with these symbols on the outside, and that aesthetic carries over to the inside as well. Look at that. I like that the earphones have those shapes on them as well. I'm again not sure what it means, but they look cool regardless. You get the ear tips in this box and a carrying case, which contains the cable and a few extra accessories. Yep, that's an extra nozzle. We'll talk about it in a second. You get nozzles, some extra rubber rings and foam. Obviously they are to modify this earphone a little bit to make it sound different. We'll see if it actually works later on. I went for the DSP version this time around with its own DAC and Type-C termination. Just for a change, because I usually go for 3.5mm ones. The earphones themselves are really well built, solid metal. They're kind of similar to the Moondrop Chew 2, but they are nicer. I mean, given that there's almost a 3x price difference between the Chew 2 and this, the fact that the build quality is somewhat similar is a compliment to Moondrop. But this isn't exactly a budget earphone, it's somewhat towards the mid-range. And you can see that by twisting the nozzle, you can easily unscrew it and replace it with that golden one there. Apparently that changes its sound to be somewhat flatter. We'll see about that. Let's load some ear tips on there and take a listen. I'll use my own ear tips instead of the stock ones. These are the latex ear tips that I liked from the Audio Killer set we tested. That set is awesome, by the way. I'll link that in the description. Listening to these, I was surprised as to how much bass these have. These are definitely the bassiest IEMs I've tested till now. Yes, even more than the BL03, the Chew 2, these blow everything out of the water, but they don't overinflate the bass. Like, they are not fluffy or boomy, they don't compress the mid-range. Despite the strength of that bass and the sub bass, there is good clarity even in the low mid-range, which is impressive. The top end is nice too, especially the upper treble. There's plenty of sharpness, which makes it sound bright without fatiguing your ears too much. In case you're sensitive to treble like me, you should be still fine with these, but thankfully you can customize the sound. As I mentioned, you can easily remove this nozzle by unscrewing it with your fingers, and they even provide you pre-cut foam that you can put in there. It'll help you dampen out the treble a bit more. I personally thought it's fine, so I didn't use the foam, but you can. And on the topic of customization, I also tried the other nozzle that they've provided, this golden color one. Apparently this one will reduce the treble and smoothen out the sound a bit more. And yes, there is a slight difference between this brass colored one and the steel nozzle, but it's really subtle. I had to switch between them multiple times to hear the difference. The purple one reduces the top end, maybe slightly enhances the sub bass and makes it closer to the Harman 2019 standard. Whereas the previous one with the red ring, it increases the mid bass, but it's actually lesser compared to the Harman 2019 standard, especially when the sub bass kicks in. I mean, there's still plenty of bass in there, but if you're someone who's curious about the Harman comparison, then yeah, it has less sub bass than the Harman 2019, because SIMGOT uses its own standard called the Golden 2023 Target or something. Personally, I like it. But I'm just mentioning because everyone has a preference. Since I went for the DSP version, it also has a mic, so you can easily use this for gaming. And the impedance of 28 ohm means that you can easily drive it with your phone. So yeah, it's an all-rounder. Pretty accurate, great for gaming, tons of bass, plenty of sharpness in the top end, impressive lower mids despite having so much bass, which is a first for me. I haven't really experienced an IEM quite like this, so yeah, this will be my new daily driver. It's not exactly cheap compared to the other IEMs I've tried in the past few months, but I guess I'm slowly leveling up now. But hey, this was a good experience regardless. So if you're looking for a slightly mid-range to premium segment IEM, I'll link these in the description. If you have any questions, let me know.